and gentlemen, welcome back to another NFL news video. While I was gone on my trip and reading the comments from my pre-recorded videos, I saw a couple of people saying Wyatt's got some stuff to react to when he comes back, and you know what? You're right. Also, I would just like to show appreciation to anybody who's showing me love on the 2K videos recently. There's another one coming out probably this weekend. I know basketball isn't my strongest suit, but I'm trying to pick it up and I really enjoy it, and I just hope that I can kind of captivate some more of that audience by making those. Couple of plugs before we hop into it today. Don't forget to use code Wyatt's World on G Fuel, Waggle, or Prize Picks. By using my code on G Fuel or Waggle, you can save a discount on any of their awesome products like this. Or by using code Wyatt's World at sign up on Prize Picks, you're going to guarantee yourself to win a free $50 with your first $5 entry. But as always, please remember to play responsibly, and let's get into the video. Okay, so first thing I'm reacting to is actually somewhat recent, and it's that Puka Nacua's girlfriend has apparently asked the court to confirm the NFL superstar is the father of her unborn baby. She also asked the court to award joint legal custody, but to give her full physical custody and only visitation rights to Nacua. So is that still his girlfriend then? Like, I'm curious as to why they said Puka's girlfriend, but at the same time, she wants to take the kid away from Puka. Now, when you read into this, it even says right here, it's not clear why these documents were filed, why she's doing this. But as a few weeks ago in mid-May, the couple seemed to be overwhelmingly in love. A video on her Instagram page showed the couple was seen revealing their new baby's gender before sharing a sweet kiss. So, like, what happened here? Now, I'm not assuming anything, but I swear if it comes out that he, like, hit her or something, just hope that's not the case. I don't know what's going on here, but Puka's in a little bit of a jam. Now moving on to the Buffalo Bills, we've got some bad news about first-round pick Maxwell Hairston. He is being sued for sexual assault. What an offseason the Bills are having. They've had like 2 players suspended, and now this guy's being sued. It said this incident allegedly happened in 2021 while Hairston attended the University of Kentucky. Basically, the civil complaint is claiming that Hairston engaged in non-consensual activity with someone in her dorm room. She reported the incident to law enforcement at the time and later transferred to a different school. Now, when they asked Brandon Beane about him after he was drafted, Brandon Beane said he's an impeccable kid and we've done a lot of research. I think all teams were aware of the Title IX thing, which I'm assuming is that, but it was fully investigated by the school. There's everything out. He even volunteered to do a polygraph and had notes. It was one of those where there was zero information saying that this actually happened. Well, I'm choosing not to comment any further on that situation. But yeah, Buffalo is potentially looking at having one of the most corrupt off seasons ever when it comes to players that they have picked up and not being able to actually play. Next up, I want to react to the trade made between the Dolphins and the Steelers. No way you guys haven't heard about this. It's almost a week old at this point, but the Steelers have acquired Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith in a 2027 7th round pick for Minkah Fitzpatrick in a 2027 5th round choice. So Minkah Fitzpatrick is sent back home to Miami. Steelers get Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. Now the thing about this, and maybe I'm tripping because to you guys often I am tripping, I don't hate this for the Steelers, like at all. I see so many people ragging on the Steelers for this. What are the Steelers doing? What are the Steelers thinking? Like, I don't think the volume's that bad. Obviously, Minkah's a little younger. He's got some better years left in him than Jalen, although I still think Jalen is one of the best corners in the league. But the Steelers are also getting Jonnu Smith, who just came off of a career year. They're gonna have a great tight end duo over there. Like, I don't think it's that bad of a trade at all, and if you had to pick a loser of the side, I think Miami right now is gonna be hurting more than the Steelers. And that'll actually segue us into our next piece of news here, and that's Darren Waller has been traded from the Giants to the Dolphins, and he's coming out of retirement to play. That's Miami's solution at tight end, a 32-year-old guy who has been off of his rocker for the last year and not even playing football. Like, that's insane to me, and I know he's going back there because the same coach in Miami is the same one he had in Vegas when he was really good for like 2 years. But the last time this guy did anything even remotely impressive, it dates all the way back to 2020. And ever since that, he's just dealt with injuries or been retired. Nice, dude. That's a sick play, Miami. Next piece of news we have here is a little concerning. It says Deshun Watson is taking Shedeur Sanders, quote unquote, under his wing as the Browns quarterback mentor. What do you mean by that? No, you're not. There's nothing you're gonna be able to teach him right now other than to be a criminal. Like, literally, I know some people are gonna be scoffing at that going, he was at one point a good quarterback. You gotta forget the past. Why do you always hate on him? That was years ago, which I can't believe people actually comment that, which they do. People gotta understand, this guy has absolutely nothing redeemable about him anymore. And I wouldn't want a quarterback who's trying to learn to be a good quarterback to spend even close to a second near him. I've said this before and I will say it again because it's the simple reality of the situation. Deshun Watson hasn't been good since 2020, and it's not because he's lost it. The reason he hasn't been good is because it's all up here. It's in his head. Whether he wants to admit it or not, you can tell he cannot even walk onto a football field and think about anything other than the thousands of people that are there live who hate his guts. Now, granted, before all that took place, I was a huge Deshun Watson fan. I had a Clemson pennant. I loved him when he was there. I consistently had him in my top 2-3 quarterback conversation. All that stuff went down, and that Deshun Watson went out the door. I know we're getting off topic now, but look at his completion percentages. Close to 70, at 70. Cleveland, under 60 or barely above it. Passer rating with the Texans, averaging around 100 or more. With Cleveland, can't even barely get over 80. This man made 3 Pro Bowls in his career, back-to-back years. But ever since that incident, he has been terrible. Keep Shedeur as far away from him as possible if you want Shedeur to have a chance. Next up, we're going to be taking a glance at PFF's top 10 NFL players with the most to prove in 2025, which, by the way, I'm continuing to make one of these myself. It's just in the cards. The first name drop we're going to get from PFF is Caleb Williams. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Saying that he has the most to prove, I think it would make more sense to say it if Caleb was really bad last year, but he wasn't. He was actually, like I've said, I think better than a lot of quarterbacks would have been in that situation. The only thing Caleb Williams has to prove is that he has the amount of sanity it takes to withstand that organization. Next up, we got Trevor Lawrence. That's obvious. He is probably the most prove-it player this year. I'm guessing he has to be, right? Him or Anthony Richardson, but Anthony Richardson probably won't even start. As much as I love Trevor, though, seriously, it's been, what, 3-4 years now? And he's been okay, but I don't know if he's been good enough to convince Jacksonville that that is their guy going forward, even though he's signed to a massive deal. Now we've got Ramondre Stevenson from New England? What? No way. Moving on, we have Kyle Pitts. Yeah. I think he's kind of outlived this whole most approved title as well. You know, you could have said that after his rookie year or second year or even third year. But I mean, we're 4 years in now and the guy's just not that good. He's kind of getting the Kyler Murray treatment. You just got to wait for him to break out. Kyler's been playing for 6 years. When is this supposed to happen? Now we've got Brandon Ayuk. I absolutely 100% agree with this. They gave him a bag and basically made him the king of that offense. Only for him to immediately get hurt last year, and now coming back this year, if he's not good, their team is going to feel it. He's gonna look like an idiot. Now they have Max Crosby, saying last year wasn't as good as the previous 3, so apparently he's on a prove-it year. Max Crosby. Again, I think this is idiotic. That'll bring us to Quinnen Williams. Again, I can't say I agree with it. But all the people on the Jets, you're not gonna say Justin Fields has something to prove? Breece Hall, who I think is incredibly overrated at this point. I don't agree. Now we're on to Patrick Queen from Pittsburgh. That one I don't disagree with as much. He wasn't as good as he was when he was in Baltimore, and that's for sure. That'll bring us to Jair Alexander. Don't really see a prove-it year from him either. I think that this list is selecting a lot of guys who have already proven they're good players, but just haven't been as good recently, and that's not what I dictate as a prove-it season. Prove-it to me is people who have not been good, and they're either about to be good or they're about to be out of the league. Brandon Ayuk is a unique exception there, though, because I know he's good, but you can't fight and scratch and claw to get a bag and then not be a good player afterwards, so that one does make sense. And the last player they have is Antoine Winfield Jr., my boy. See, it bothers me. They said this with Max Crosby too. 2024 was Winfield's worst season to date in all regards. He played a career low in snap due to multiple injuries. You think those might have had something to do with the fact that they weren't performing as well? And trust me, I'm a huge advocator. If you are hurt, you should not be playing. But being Captain Obvious here, they didn't play as much because of injuries, so they didn't do as good. No kidding! And that is gonna do it, ladies and gentlemen, for this short little news video. Hope you guys enjoy the content. I didn't actually plan to have videos out today or this weekend. Like I said, there's a 2K one coming, but when your dog rips his nail off of his foot and needs emergency surgery, sometimes you gotta come home. Anyway, show support to this video. You guys know I appreciate it, and I really hope every single one of you guys watching this has a fantastic 4th of July, and stay safe. If you live outside of the United States, you're missing out, but I hope you have a great weekend. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.